Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Hope all is well with everybody. We just gonna start off with a little music on this morning. All I require for life, God has given me, and I know who I am. Hey. We are a chosen generation. Chosen generation. To show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me. For I know who I am. I know who God says I am. What He says I am. Where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I know who God says I am. What He says I am. Where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I'm working in power. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, a life of favor, not a season of favor. Yep, yep. All right, all right, all right. Just had to do a little warm-up exercise, a little warm-up, a little movement. We got to get going. Bless the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. For those who do not know who I am, my name is Tamika Smith, and I encourage, I empower dreamers to become doers of the world while unapologetically allowing their light to shine in a dark world. And with that being said, I've written a few books. I'm a certified life coach, and I help people also publish their books. And so we're going into greater, and had to start off this morning with that, excuse me, with that song in mind. It came right to mind because I'm like, man, I really don't feel it today, but I had to press forward because we know there's a blessing in the pressing. And so, despite how I'm feeling, you can't operate. I'm a prime example. You can't operate in your feelings because, when you press forward, that's where the blessings are. And sometimes you also have to retreat. And so that's what the topic is about today. So we're reading from Antonio Santoro, but we are on day 25. Day 25 of Catapult, and it's the 40-day devotional to cause the course of your conquering. And so I'm live in the Facebook group Dreamers to Doers, also live on YouTube, and also live on Periscope. And entrepreneurs, creatives, StreamYard is a really, really good platform to use. So you can, I'm not a big fan of repeating myself or having crazy all kind of devices when I'm trying to, go live. So, side note, I'm not a paid, spokesperson or anything like that, but StreamYard is really good. So we are on the word for today, which is called, about retreating. You have to fall back to move forward, focus forward. What does that even mean? So had to look up the word retreat before I get into the message in the devotional for today. But retreat, like it says, like when you're watching like war movies and stuff, retreat, it means to withdraw from the enemy's forces as a result of their superior power after a defeat. I need some coffee. So it means to withdraw from enemy forces as a result of their superior power or after a defeat. It also means the act of moving back or withdrawing. It's the signal for a military force to withdraw. So that's what withdraw. It means to go to a quiet place or a secluded place, to move back or withdraw, to change one's decisions, plans, or attitudes as a result of criticism of others' interest in. So retreat. You got to move back to move forward. We're focused forward. So what does that even mean? Retreat, we found out what that means. So we are on Matthew 14 and 23. And it says, after he had dismissed the crowds, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone. When evening came, he was there alone. And so also, I looked it up. This is Matthew 14:23, the English Standard Version. And I also read it And the Message version, I love the Message version as well. So just to expound on that a bit. And so 14:23. So I'm just going to start at verse 22 in the Message. And it says, as soon as the meal was finished, he insisted that the disciples get in the boat and go on ahead to the other side where he dismissed the people. And while the crowd dispersed, he climbed to the mountain so that he could be by himself and pray. He stayed there alone late into the night. And I'm just going to leave it there. So, he had to retreat for a minute. He poured out himself as he poured out himself. Miracle signs and wonders. And so after he did that, after the pouring, he had to retreat. He had to fall back. And anybody that is serving somebody else, helping somebody else, in whatever magnitude that is, that's serving. It's not just serving into a four walls of a church. You're serving somebody else. You're actually serving somebody at a job. It's just different elements of serving. So when you're pouring yourself out and serving other people, it can cause a lot of energy to be taken out of you. And the little saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. That's the pouring, the outpouring, the outreach. You're doing something that's not about you, is for somebody else. So retreat. Even Jesus, the Son of God and the Son of Man, needed a retreat time or two to regroup. We all need a retreat time to regroup. We can't be in the palms of other people and just doing things by the motions just because. Everybody needs some time, hashtag me time. Is not selfish. It's about you needing a time to recharge and just to take a breather and take some reflection, because so many people, I've been guilty of it too. So many people, they are go mode, that they don't take time to retreat. So prior to the verse, at the beginning of chapter 14, the Bible details John the Baptist's death. And John the Baptist was Jesus' son. So this tragic death, it was tragic. It was imprisonment and a beheading that happened. Just imagine how you would feel if a colleague, a confidant, a counseling cousin was killed in such a way. That's tragic. That takes a lot of energy out of you. Somebody close to you, that happens to you. You're going to feel some type of way about it, because we're human beings living in a spiritual experience. So you can imagine Jesus feeling some type of way. He needed a respite. So God is speaking. Stop talking to others and talk to me. When you wake up in the morning, who are you talking to? Are you talking on social media? Are you having conversations with God? Prayer is basically a conversation with God. Are you, waking up with gratitude on your lips? Are you complaining? And if you're not, get it right. So what are you doing in the morning? What kind of conversations are you had? In the book, it says, God is speaking. Stop talking to others. Talk to me. God wants your attention. When are you going to give it to him? You got to give God all your burdens, your concerns, your heartaches, and your trials. Dismiss the distraction in your life and let the other names in your life fade away. Like, so, people say, like, I don't want to hear nothing else but God. And what that means is not being, as if you don't want to hear nobody else. It's just that when you're drowning out the voices and you need to hear the true voice, which is God, the Holy Spirit, when you need to hear the true voice, you want to be clear. You want to, hey, good morning. You want to be able to hear what's going on. You want to hear what's on God's agenda, not man's agenda, not your agenda, but what's on God's agenda. Because we're not living for people in a way like an audience. We're not living to perform like we're entertainers. We're looking to do God's mission. And so we can be drowned out by the voices of other people. So that's why it's good to retreat. That's why it's good to have that charge. That's why it's good to sit in silence. And so, give God all your burdens, your concerns, your heartaches, and your trials. Dismiss the distraction in your life and let the other names in your life fade away until there is only God. Although the mistakes, the trials, the burdens are above your head, mind you, they're above you. What was that thing that was going on? It's above me now. Even though it's above you now, God got it. When like we were saying yesterday, the surrender, like the cover of the book, the surrender illuminated. I'm talking about the cover of Catapult. The surrender was also illuminated by the fact that he had his hands up and was able to, give it up to God, know that I'm not doing it on my own, right? So just expounding on this a little bit. So it's all above your head, but they're still under God's feet. They're under God's feet. So be encouraged on today. Take some time to retreat. God restores in a retreat. That's a good way to end it. God restores in a retreat. Like if you ever had a vacation, that's a retreat. It should be. It should be a time to recharge, to reflect. And when God is doing that, when you're doing the retreat, he's also restoring you. He's giving you that charge that you need. So when it's time to do another pouring, you're ready for, excuse me. Just like when a lot of pastors, when they do their outpouring on Sunday service, a lot of them, chill on Monday because of the outpouring that had to take place to charge themselves properly. And thank a pastor on today. Thank somebody, a coach, a mentor, somebody that's pouring into you. Thank somebody on today. It takes a lot to pour out. And that's why, you got to retreat. It's healthy. It's for your mental health. It's for your spiritual strength to get you right, to get your mind right, and to get everything in focus. This is focus forward. I put that in the hashtag of the title as well. Focus forward. So when you're focused forward and in those retreat times, you're ready to go out. You're going to, when every time you do this, you're coming out better than how you came in. It's like a exchange. It's an exchange. When you're giving out, you're going to retreat and you're going to be back. When you go back out, you're going to be back better than how you came in. So in those retreat times, right? Get a journal. It's only $1 at the dollar store. It's not a, huge investment. Get a journal, write about your thoughts, write about what happened for the day. So when it's time to do a reflection, you can also use that as a reference point to, and this is a good exercise to do today. And this is to start out something new on June 24th, the 25th day in Catapult. And so you can have a documented record of how you are doing in your own journey, which is going to be different. It's going to be unique. So, write out your thoughts, your ideas, something that happened in the day, write out your wins, do something great in that time so that when you have that reflection of your retreat times, or your reflections really, and you'll be able to have that as a reference point, retreat, recharge, and God is going to restore you. It's a formula to this, guys. And we can make things complicated by overthinking, being stressed out, being worried, when all we got to do is do a simple formula. And God already got the answer. We just got to follow in between to follow suit on what God is telling us to do and stop being stubborn like we know it all and we got it all in the palm of our hands. Because God has the whole world in his hands, right? So I'm just going to end it there today. It's a little short today, but I am just going to end it there. Got to start my day off and do a couple things, but I do appreciate each and every one of you for listening in. You can look at the Chronicles of Every Day. It's on the YouTube channel, Tamika Smith. It's in Dreamers to Doers. I got the replay on Periscope. You all have an amazing day. Amazing day. I love you all, and I will talk to y'all soon.